there's a learning curve that needs to be observed. And I say this, and I'll say it again as often as I need to. Wives need a learning curve individually, and so does the husband, the children, whoever it is. But I'm not worried about whether my in-laws are concerned about me in polygyny. I didn't marry them. I didn't marry them.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Coach Nyla.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Coach Fatimah.
And we are co-wives and co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-authors of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Yeah. And in this video, we are going to talk about perfectionism and polygyny.
Ooh, y'all want it to be perfect. Not everybody, but some of you do want perfection from your marriage, your spouse, your co-wife, polygyny, the kids, the cat, the dog, everybody. You want perfection, or it ain't gonna work. You've proclaimed that it won't work if it's not perfect. And I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know why people believe that dealing with people and them dealing with you is going to equal perfection. That's not how this works. Many times people think we're in this polygyny utopia and we don't have lives and we don't get challenged and we don't get sick and we don't get stressed and we don't, life is gonna happen. I don't care what you do, it's gonna happen because life is here for us to learn from.
Indeed.
And we don't wanna learn from it if it looks like polygyny. I don't want to learn from it if it looks like 7 kids. I don't want to learn from it if it looks like whatever it is that you fear. If life starts to look like that, we don't want it because it's not fitting the perfect dream I had for myself. We all had this thing. We all had what we thought life was going to be, and then we got the reality of it. So that's because we want control over our lives. But we got to remember, our lives are a shared experience and they intersect with other people's lives. And we want to pick who it intersects with. See, I almost said something because it rhymed, but I won't. Nah. That one would have been too easy. Anyway, it would have been too easy. Y'all know how I rock. But yeah, we get upset because sometimes the people that are the man that we marry has a life timeline, and that timeline intersects with somebody else, and there lies imperfection because he's experiencing his life outside of what I thought it's supposed to be exactly, And it's and then if that doesn't happen, and then the co-wife, she gots to bow down to me. That's perfection too. Sorry for the interruption, but we just want to step in here for 1 second.
Yes, because we know you are enjoying the video that you are watching, so we're not going to take too much time, but we want to tell you about a wonderful program we created called True Queens. And this program is actually for women who are looking to have more confidence in their relationships, being able to communicate more effectively, as well as create the sisterhood bond, whether they're in monogamy or polygyny.
So please, if you want to learn more, click the link in the description box.
Yes, so let you get back to the video. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Yeah, see, and it's like all around the board, everybody feels this sense of pressure from even just the outsiders and even their own pressures that they can instill on themselves. An initial wife feeling that she has to be perfect so her husband doesn't think about polygyny. Or you have, a first wife thinking that, even after polygyny, she has to figure out what did she not do right that wasn't quite perfect to fill that part. So he would love her again as though he didn't love her anymore. So it's those different things coming from that perspective. Then you have the husband saying, okay, I'm not perfect because I didn't do it this way. I should have done it that way. Maybe if I did it this way, then she wouldn't feel hurt. She wouldn't feel betrayed. She wouldn't feel like I don't love her anymore. She wouldn't feel these things. And now that I'm not perfect, I got the big scarlet A on my chest, and now I'm shunned for life, you know.
Big P.
So it's these different things that we put on ourselves. And as an incoming wife, you can have these different things where I'm like, I got to do everything because I have to over accommodate. I have to make sure the co-wife loves me. I have to make sure the kids love me. I have to make sure the husband loves me. I have to make sure the family of them love me too, because they're going to be influential and everything like that. And it's these heavy expectations that we put on ourselves that causes people to break individually. And when they break individually, it starts to affect their relationships and infect their relationships, and then their relationships start to break unless they can work on themselves to get away from those heavy expectations, even the ones that they're putting on themselves, and being able to speak that with one another. Because a lot of times we just feel like, okay, I gotta be perfect, I gotta do this. And it's a lot of pressure. And then you also say, well, you know, it's only me. I'm only experiencing this. I feel this way. And you don't think that even if it's not the exact same pressure you're feeling, everybody in this feels pressure. Everybody in this feels the need to have some type of part of them that will not get criticized, that will not be looked upon as something negative, that will not look like a big character flaw in themselves. So perfection is not existent, period. Whether it's polygyny, monogamy, or anything else in life, it's just not.
It's not going to happen, and we need to quit demanding it from others. You have to understand that part of being a perfectionist or thinking that polygyny needs to be perfect is understanding that you're in the wrong for being the perfectionist that wants perfectionism from somebody else in this lifestyle, period. It's a lifestyle. It's another form of marriage. And we think it doesn't take work because it's something that we didn't choose. And there is another thing. There's a learning curve that needs to be observed. And I say this, and I'll say it again as often as I need to. Wives need a learning curve individually, and so does the husband, the children, whoever it is. But I'm not worried about whether my in-laws are concerned about me in polygyny. I didn't marry them. They wouldn't have wanted me to get married in monogamy because that's just how they were, you know. But I don't recall asking them to support my marriage, period, or support me in polygyny. I didn't ask certain people. So you got to figure out who needs to be in your circle and who doesn't. If somebody's not supportive of what you're trying to do for the betterment of your family, and it's done in a healthy way, I get if we out here wild and traumatized. I'm not talking about that real trauma where the men and the women are beating each other and there's abuses and there's assaults and there's all these things and drug and alcohol and fornication. I get that. I'm not talking about that, and I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the people that are wanting to win. They want their family to win, their husband to win, their co-wife to win. They got to understand that you can't just want you to win. I don't care what nobody says. If you have children with the same man, they are related. Hello? If you can't hear me, turn up your volume. They're related. And if you can't understand that, think more than just surface level. They're related. So if you want yourself to win, you want everyone in the family to win. Because see, we got to think about the husband that's going on. These wives don't want each other to win. They don't want me to win. You got to think about that. It can be very destructive to your family. And then we wonder why, I don't know why this didn't work. Well, you damning it every day for it not to work. For her not to win. Well, I can win with him as long as they don't win together and their little raggedy kids don't win together. That's the wrong attitude. And we don't have that. So that's why we talk about family. That's why we talk about best practices, because that stuff matters.
Indeed. That's pretty much it. the one thing is, it's like we gotta realize. That's it. It's like, you know, the video doesn't really need to be that long because we really have to just hold up that mirror and say, hey, you know, are my expectations of myself, of others around me, of, you know, my life, my marriage, other people, you know, my co-wife's life, am I looking at these things in a way of that it has to be this perfect frame, this perfect frame? And my thing is, what does that even mean? Because your perfect may be somebody else's, it may not be somebody else's perfect. And so it's all these different things where we have to understand that perfectionism is not what we're striving for. We're striving for fulfillment, right? Fulfillment. So let's put in the comments, fulfillment over perfection. Fulfillment over perfection, because that's what it all comes down to, is how am I being fulfilled in my life? You know, am I being that person that can exude that in the way that I'm presenting myself to other people? Because that's the thing, when we're fulfilled and we're happy, we have no time to make other people miserable. Right. We have no time for any of that because we don't even know what that even feels like because we're too happy. Sometimes people say, well, I'm happy, but I don't care about this other person being happy. That's not necessarily true, because if you're happy, genuinely happy, you want other people to be happy because you want people to feel the beauty that you feel inside of you. Right. But when you're so focused on being perfect, you're constantly stressing and stressing and stressing. And that stress bleeds into everything else. Mm-hmm. So again, fulfillment over perfection. And inshallah, you got some great information from this video.
Yes, and if you guys don't follow us here on our socials, make sure you do hit that notification bell, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we're uploading our videos, and follow us again on our social media platforms. And what else?
Bam. You know, that's pretty much it. So make sure you're growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Until the next one, Coach Nyla,
Coach Fatimah.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and also Clubhouse under our names.
And make sure you go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and sign up for our email list. And there you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
Absolutely. And last but not least, when it comes to coaching or counseling, if you want to work with us one-on-one or in group settings, make sure you're on that website and reach out to us, because we do have very limited spots and we usually have a wait list. So with that being said, GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.